Hey everybody, Tony D and Little Joan here with one last quick video, bonus video if you will. We're gonna blast through the news stories here. The rest of the news stories that we didn't do the first time. Most of these we already heard about. Governor DeSantis to issue executive order banning vaccine passports. Nearly 70% of black voters support voter ID. And Instagram removes Caitlyn Bennett's iconic graduation photo from 2018 for, quote, inciting violence. There's been a huge uptick in censorship on the internet, in case you missed it. They deplatformed Crowder, totally took him off. I talked about they booted Trump from another interview that was on Facebook. They banned Mark Dice from Twitter, I believe. They just keep doing it. Now Twitter censors official beer virus advisor and renowned epidemiologist Martin Kulldorff because they're afraid, I can only assume. From Revolver, FBI deploys creepy sentiment analysis tools to screen National Guards for pro-Trump sympathy. And Tammy Duckworth, Representative Tammy Duckworth, couldn't be happier and just totally clueless about how this could turn around and bite her in the butt. Which it will. You're a dummy for supporting this, Tammy. An absolute dummy. The left used to hate surveillance, but now they love it because now they're in charge, so who cares? Whistleblower says FDA minimized safety risk at Merrick vaccine plant. Not a good thing. From Politico, so not exactly a right-wing rag. GOP's culture war fixation on transgender athletes ensnares a rising party snar from NBC News. It's not a culture war thing, although it kind of is. This is just what it is, man. I mean, it's destroying women's sports. NBC, woke NBC. I mean, NBC has just gotten every headline is more woke than the next. Capitol officers sue Trump over physical and emotional injuries from a certain day during a certain election. I think you all know that is also from NBC News, so good luck with that. Climate activist on Biden infrastructure plan. Not big enough. Go bigger, it says. Yeah, that'll work. Yeah, let's spend more money. Let's break the bank even faster. Let's build more windmills. So that way, when the Chinese come rolling in with their tanks, they'll have something to knock over and laugh about. Matt Gaetz is getting reamed. But it seems to be true that he was being blackmailed. His own father wore a wire for the FBI to probe the extortion claims. So that I don't think they would wire him up if there wasn't some truth to it. So Pfizer says its beer virus vaccine is 100% effective in children ages 12 to 15. Well, duh, ABC News. Of course it is. Pretty much. I mean, considering there's an 0.001% chance that the children can be infected at all or die from it, and that they're pretty resistant to it, it doesn't surprise me at all that even a small amount of vaccine will give them 100% protection. It's just insane. And yet we're still locked down in some parts of the country. How about that? Analyst pleads to leaking secrets about drone program. Danielle Hale admitted leaking roughly a dozen secret and top secret documents to a reporter in 2014 and 2015 when he was working at the National Geospatial Intelligence Agency. Well, once again, Obama has ensnared another whistleblower. So we covered most of these. Hillary Clinton still showing up in the news. Hillary, just retire. Hillary Clinton declares shameless Republicans are gun worshippers. Okay, whatever, old lady. I just wish she'd go away. Oh, I I was going to talk about this one, but I decided to save it for now. Biden allows reporters in migrant child detention site at 1,700% capacity. My God, this is the place in Donner, Texas. I mean, they're just stacking up the kids like, and they're wrapped in like tinfoil. It looks like it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. You got too many kids and they're too close together. If you're supposedly worried about the beer virus, which you probably, fortunately for these kids, they should be fine, but it's just a disgrace. And some of them have tested for beer virus, apparently. Day 2 of the Derek Chauvin trial. Greg Jarrett, tears, emotion, and incriminating testimony from Fox News. I'm sure it is, but, it's more emotional stuff. And really, that's not what a trial should be about. It should be about what actually happened. Who is at fault? But this is the biggest news story, I think, of the day, or media story of the day. Network states as fact, quote, not possible to know gender identity at birth. CNN Wednesday was getting a tongue lashing from various sources online for stating as a fact there is no consensus criteria for assigning sex at birth. I mean, are you woke-tarded, CNN? Don't answer that question. I already know. The answer is yes, right? Yeah. I mean, that's the most woke-tarded thing to date. Of course, you know the sex at birth because there are genitals, and that's how you tell. There are chromosomes, and you can tell from that. But, Jesus, CNN, really? We're going to deny science now? Remember back in the day, and you probably don't because you're idiot millennials, those of you who are, you would hear the Christian right scream that the earth was only 5,000 years old. And you'd laugh. The people on the left would laugh. Ho, 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 ho. You science denier. This is where we're at. The woke-tards are having a field day here with their woke-tarded nonsense. Not possible to know gender identity at birth. Shut up. Just shut up. Trump moving forward with plans to start social media platform, according to sources at Fox News. I don't know how good their sources are anymore, but good. Can't wait. Study PPE causing beer virus litter threatening wildlife. Yeah, so many damn masks on the ground now. I'm ready to choke on them. I'm tripping over them. The dog the other day nearly went over to one and sniffed it. They're everywhere. Yeah, thanks for PPE. Throw your damn mask away when you're done with it. Don't just throw it on the ground, please. Biden stimulus delayed for many Americans on Social Security. Well, that makes zero sense whatsoever. Talk about the people who need it most. People on Social Security, they absolutely need the stimulus check. Oh my God. I got mine, by the way. It was direct deposited. I didn't even know until I happened to look at my bank account. WHO advisor, evidence for beer virus originating in wild is non-existent so far. Yeah, I don't know whose side the WHO is on. I don't trust them. I mean, all I know is China has a lot to answer for. Whether it was the wild or in a lab, it was someplace in China. More on the Derek Chauvin trial. This is from the Daily Mail. Remember that woman I showed you yesterday who was arguing with the judge? I think I may have showed you that. Off-duty EMT. Daily Mail just has like off-duty EMT testifies about being denied chance to aid George Floyd. Okay. Well, yesterday the headline was this same woman argued with the judge. So which is it? Which is it? That was probably a different news source in the Daily Mail's defense, but I think the Daily Mail is going to spin this however they want to spin it. So, Amazon set up Twitter army named Veritas to defend Jeff Bezos' reputation. Well, that is totally a waste of money, Jeff. I don't know why you would bother, but there you go. I think that's about it. Healthcare workers bragging about forged vax cards as fake, quote, passports hit the street. Already fake passports. Oh, and Joe Scarborough, I don't think I read this one yet, slams, quote, idiots who oppose vaccine passports. They're living in ignorance and stupidity. Now, I think you should have a passport, Joe. A passport for being a dumbass. And it should just say, Joe Scarborough, dumbass. So people can be warned that you apparently don't understand how the United States works. That you think it's okay to show papers. You think that's okay. Well, I bet you won't have to show that passport. I bet when you're trying to get into some place, you'll be like, "Hey, I'm Joe Scarborough. Like, what is this? Come on." Yeah, I bet you'll be like that. I bet you won't be flashing your phone. I bet you'll be outraged that anyone even asked you. Because that's what happens to celebrities, right? They get rich and they get famous, and they could just break the rules all day long. With your millions of dollars, I mean, these people, it's never enough. It's never enough for them. Anyhow, that's it for Tony D and Little Joan today. That's it for The Suit. Please check out my links, especially the new book, Book 6 of the Pineys, The Highwayman Piney, now out on Amazon and Amazon.com, I guess you'd go to. All right, we will see you tomorrow.